Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome to episode 9 of Once Upon a Captain Swan.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
With me today, I have Kimberly,
Hi.
Lindsay,
Hello.
Rachel,
Hello.
Gabrielle,
Hey.
JMO,
Hi.
Jenna,
Hello.
and Justine.
Hey.
So everybody.
We are all
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
all 8 of us. So this week, we are doing our long-awaited Killian Jones appreciation episode.
Yay.
We had to postpone it because we had some technical issues, but it worked out really well because all 8 of us are here again, so be prepared. This is going to be a long one.
Strap in.
Settle
get
in.
a snack.
Get a snack, get a drink, get a friend to
Enjoy yourself.
with.
Get a nice little glass of rum, whatever your
Yes.
liquor of choice is.
All of
Glass,
them.
you mean a bottle. You mean a bottle of
A
rum.
bottle of rum. Yo ho ho.
Episode. Go big or go home.
So we're going to do our top 5 favorite Killian Jones moments, and then we're going to do some honorable mentions, and we're going to hear some of your favorite moments that you sent us. So, Jimmo, you want to start us off with a question that we received?
Yes. On Tumblr, I received a question from Hooked on Killian for Life 28, and she asked us, "Hey, do you think you can ask the girls what you guys think is the most attractive thing about Killian Jones? Just something for fun."
God.
For me,
How do you answer that?
that's what she gave an answer. She gave her own answer. She said, "For me, I would have to say the most attractive thing about Killian is he is an old-fashioned gentleman. I just feel like you don't find a lot of men like that these days. Well, at least I don't."
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I've actually had I've had to have time to think about this one, and I honestly think like the most attractive thing about Killian probably his patience, especially when it comes to his relationship with Emma. He's never rushing her. He's always letting her
Yeah.
take the lead and not, trying to force anything out of her. He's just being, like she said, being that gentleman that she needs.
Yeah. I mean, there are two different ways you could answer this question. I mean, you could go for the obvious, his entire face is the most attractive thing about him.
I mean,
Well,
his raw sex appeal, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you can go with the fact that he's actually quite feminist. He always waits for women to really make the decision. He isn't afraid to kind of step back and let Emma or Cora or whoever is in charge be in charge. I mean, he even said this relationship is as much up to Emma as it is up to me. For a 300-year-old pirate, he's pretty woke.
Yeah.
Ahead of his time.
Well, obviously,
Stay woke,
it's
Killian.
it's
Stay
got to
woke.
be his inner pirate's flag or his sword and its jabbing abilities, I have to say.
Someone had to go there.
Yes.
No, but on a serious note,
That was serious. Come on.
that is my actual answer. Yeah.
Didn't expect that from you, Jenna.
I'm
That's it.
full of surprises.
I have to say, I am a sucker for eyes. Those are my weakness, and he's got such expressive eyes. And
Yeah.
I'm just in love with his eyes. His whole eyebrow combination, all that little area right there, that little rectangle. That's my weakness.
Love it.
I love blue eyes. Blue green eyes, dark hair, and a beard. I mean, pretty much it's just the ideal man for me.
Well, yeah, definitely. It was definitely lust at first sight, but I definitely fell in love with him as he's got such a big heart, and I want to see more of that. He's got so much to give, and you don't see a lot of that in blokes really. With him so open and so loving, and I love that about him.
Especially after everything he's been through.
Exactly, and
He is still willing to try and willing to believe and love and willing to have patience for it. And this is why he's fictional.
It's so attractive. It really is. It's so attractive.
He's so perfect.
I love
Well, not
the passion and the ability to love. One of my favorite quotes is he's like, I give my life for 2 things, love and revenge. So it's for him, it's go big or go home. If you're going to fall in love with
Yes.
someone, it's going to be your whole life, and he dedicated how many hundreds of years to
Yeah.
avenge Mila, and then he makes that comment to Belle where it's like, I can spend at least that long trying to save the woman that I love. So it's like, I just think that is so attractive.
Yeah, I think I'm drawn to his compassion, which it's very similar. He's a very compassionate man that and is passionate as well. But I mean, just look at how long he spent with the Lost Boys, and even all of that shenanigans with Neil and everything. He's still in the middle of this, wants to make sure that Neil is okay. And so I feel like he's just very compassionate underneath that whole rough, tough exterior. That I think that's what,
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just watching the Ursula episode, and
Yeah.
that was in like his like dark piratey working for Pan days, and he still
Mhm.
went out of his way to help Ursula and
Mhm.
was willing to help her get away from her father. Like, he didn't know who she was. He just liked that her singing voice, and that it helped soothe him, and he was willing to do whatever she needed to help her get away from her father. And like Blackbeard wouldn't do that.
Exactly.
Right.
He's always got that good in him, like, I know in the CS movies, like, to Emma, oh, you don't know that man, but deep down, Emma does know that man. She sees the best in him, and when Killian's given him that chance, he really shows that. And I think initially, like, on the show, everyone was against him kind of thing, and he was quite reluctant to show that side, but once he started to be given a chance, you see it more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love his persistence.
Yes.
Whenever ever Emma tried to knock him down, he'd always just stay right behind her and say, you're not going to push me back. I'm still here. So I love that.
Yeah, my truthful answer is definitely, like I said, is underlying compassion. I think that's definitely my main thing too.
Now, everyone can say how they really feel.
The man is
want
sex
to
on a
bang
stick.
him. I just
Them
want to
leather
bang him.
pants, though.
I feel like I would worry that I wouldn't be able to get the leather pants off quick enough. I think that's my main concern.
But see, that's why they're it's like half leather, and then on the inside it's like denim. So
You mean they're not like Ross's pants? Got it. Okay.
I'm surprised no one's mentioned the hook actually.
Mm.
Because actually,
yes.
yeah, like
That's
Jen
interesting.
said, there's something weirdly sexy about the hook.
And there
Yes.
is. Absolutely.
There definitely is.
And the way, like, Emma, like, strokes it seductively, that's
That's
like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
so hot.
Yeah,
So hot.
I saw you reblogging that this morning, Lindsay. I saw that. I was like, yes, Emma wants
So turned on right now.
I mean,
it.
the man is
Gold sour.
sex on a stick. Let's be real.
Yes,
Yeah.
walking sex on a stick.
I mean, even when you first saw him, like, what people talk about later on in the episode, just,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the jaw clenches, and the dimples, and the eyebrows.
The eyebrows, come on.
Eyebrows.
Oh, jaw clench.
The jaw
I mean,
clench of sex.
I know his eyebrows are on fleek, or whatever you guys are saying.
Kiddos.
Whatever the kids are saying these days.
Oh, and the way he's always playing with his mouth. I'm just gonna throw
Yeah.
that one out there.
He's always drawing attention to it. Always.
Mhm.
That tongue.
I do.
That tongue
I
is going to be the death of me.
It really is. And then one more thing is the way Captain Hook and Killian Jones walks is so different from Colin, which
Yeah.
goes give a shout out to his acting once more, as he has this swagger and he kind of like leads with his hips in a way
Woo.
that
Yeah.
just gives him that even more sexual appeal.
Oh, yes, and also, like, when he holds his hand on his belt, and
Yeah,
leans,
I was
leans
about to say
back,
that.
and leans back, oh.
Yeah. That's
Oh.
exactly
Which I'm
what
starting to
talking
think is becoming more and more of just a Colin thing.
Yeah.
It's like
slowly,
that now.
it's slowly morphing into his real life.
I love how like Colin brings little pieces of himself into Killian, like the ear scratch,
Yes.
and like kind of like playing with his rings,
And the
like just kind
eyebrow
of
raise.
fidgeting.
His
Yeah, and the
nervous
eyebrows.
tics are so cute.
And then a little bits of Killian are starting to bleed into Colin, like his posture and like just
Yes.
the ways.
His
Ah.
cheeky grins, I knows, but not those knowing grins.
Ugh.
Because he knows the effect it has on us. He
Of
does.
course he knows. He knows.
He
Cheeky
does
bastard.
know.
Have to know.
Colin cheeky bastard O'Donoghue.
Yes, that's him.
Colin a cheeky Hugh.
Yes.
Yeah. We're not See, not at all.
No.
This is why we're explicit on iTunes.
Yes.
All right, let's get into our top 5 list.
Yeah.
We only picked 5 because we knew this was
Good.
going to take a really long time.
Let me cool off here.
If we had picked 10, this episode could honestly be 3 hours.
Number 5 on our list of top 5 Killian Jones moments is the voicemail to Emma in season 4.
Heartbreaking.
Right on the angst train, just kicking things off.
Oh.
All aboard.
All aboard.
Here's our queen, Gabby.
Please
Take
have
it away.
a boarding pass.
Take it away, Rachel and Gabby.
That voicemail just, it's
Destroyed
like,
me.
it's so heartbreaking.
Sobbed
So
for
sad.
days.
It just goes to show how selfless he is, because he didn't care if Emma was mad at him or never forgave him. He just wanted her to be alive and be okay, and he would be satisfied with that. And it just kills me. And the way his voice cracks, and he has his hand over the burn mark she made, like, that whole scene.
I just wanted to be a better man for you, Swan. Gets me every fucking time.
Yeah.
There was such a fear there too, because it was like for one of the first times you almost feel this fear that he has for what Rumpelstiltskin is going to do to her, and that he
Yeah.
could possibly lose another woman that he loves to this man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Killian, more than anyone else on the show, really knows what Rumple is capable of as the Dark One.
Mhm.
And you just see this, like, intense fear, and he's terrified for Emma. And he knows exactly, I mean, Dark One lies, Dark One tricks. He knows that Rumple's setting her up for something that is potentially fatal.
Well, this was also one of the first moments where we saw the concern that Killian had for her. Like, obviously we knew he cared about her, but this is the first time he really, like, went over the top to express it. Like, I cannot let you die. And it goes back to Mila. And it reminds me of the 4-2 with the whiteout, where he was like, with the ice wall and everything, and he's like, I'm not giving up on her. I'm not, because he just feels so helpless because he can't do anything. And this is like kind of the same situation where there's nothing he can do.
Which I think really goes back to him being a slave and so many of these traumatic events happening in his life where he's not in control.
Yeah.
Mila dying, he's tied to the mast. His hand getting taken, he's obviously injured and can't really do a lot. His brother dying in his arms, like, he's not in control.
I think it just, at this point as well, I think he just realizes that he's maybe not made the best choices.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think he's kind of owning it, because it's like, I feel like in the past he didn't want to admit when he was wrong, maybe. But with Emma, it's
He was
like...
young and naive, to be fair.
Yeah. But with Emma, he
was.
just kind of swallows his pride, and he's just like, you know what, I've completely messed this up, and I kind of partly responsible, even though I don't think that he is responsible, but in his mind...
Rumple would have done that anyway.
Yeah. In his mind, he's enabled this to happen in a lot of ways, so he's kind of regretting straight away what he's done.
This is another reason why we love Killian, because he puts her first. He doesn't think about himself. Because he easily could have just, like, not even told her, So he could have just tried to figure out himself and not call her, but he decided to call her and try and warn her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that was more important than him being made out to be in the right. Like,
yeah, and their relationship.
Yeah.
So.
And then he goes after her, and then he gets his heart taken because of it.
Oh.
I just can't. Because it's what I do, Kim. It is what I do. It's what I'm here for.
All right, number 4 on our list is Killian sacrificing himself to end the darkness.
Oh, why are they so anxious?
Oh, God. What is wrong with us?
I love it.
We're
Love
glad.
the angst.
I blame Gabby and Ray. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will gladly take credit. Thank you.
All their fault. All their fault.
All their
This was
fault.
on my list as well, though. Like,
Actually, it wasn't mine as well. What was talking about? Oops,
It really
sorry, guys.
does, though, bring the whole redemption arc, like, full circle, So I think it really is one of the most important moments.
It always makes me think of when his brother was like a hero's journey, and he wants to die a hero, and it just hurts because he did. He was finally able to complete his hero's journey.
Everything hurts and I'm dying.
I kind of just want to play like Michael Bolton's "Go the Distance" from Hercules.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Ray, what are you doing?
They did a
Where's your
video to
song?
that.
Oh no!
There was a video.
Oh no.
I sent it to Jenna.
Yeah, I was going to recommend that, but then I found another one. I might recommend them both. Why not?
Why not? You only live once,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know. This scene absolutely wrecked me. And like, I know I say that a lot, right? But I'm
Really
I'm a-
this time.
yeah, but really this time. I mean, I am known to cry on occasion at a really poignant
No.
moment in a TV show. I was fucking sobbing, like just like, and I never cry like that. And
Really
so for
sobbed.
me, it was just like, oh my god, like I feel like I talked about this in the Emma episode because this was one of my top Emma moments. But it was just like, I can't, and that was just my life. So like I feel like that's what this fandom does to me. But it was so Killian. Can we talk about that for a second? It was one of the most Killian Jones things to do, right? And you know the way he progresses as a character, you know, it was just very very Killian Jones, which was
Go big or
not
go home.
which
Yeah.
is not Captain Hook, not Captain Jones, not Killian. It was Killian Jones. So it was just one of those things that I really liked this scene.
I think it did just summarize, like, I think the Dark Hook bit in general did just summarize Killian's journey in general, because it's like he went back to being like Hook again,
Mhm.
but in a very sort of concentrated dose, like really quickly and really like intensely. Yeah, and then like obviously Killian then came out at the other end even more stronger than before. So it was like all intensified, but it was like his whole arc just kind of redone in a few episodes, which was kind of interesting to see again.
Mm-hmm. So it's my thought process on this is that it's the progression of Killian, right? So young boy sold into slavery, and then that whole shenanigans with his brother is when he takes over the Jewel of the Realm and turns it into the Jolly Roger. You know, that is him becoming Captain Jones, right? And then you get to that point where then he meets Mila, and she really starts exemplifying and bringing out better qualities of him, where he's, yes, a pirate, but he's not a disastrous knave who's just
He has a code.
Yeah, he has a code and they hold to it. And Mila is like,
what a lovely ship name. I love it.
accidental ship name. Where Mila really is kind of like his own personal compass, right? She's helped kind of guiding him north. And then when he loses that, he loses his compass. So of course he's going to be lost and going at sea, and that's where he gets consumed by his rage and just depression, effectively.
Because he has nothing else.
He has nothing else. He has nothing to live for, anyone to live for. He just has to go after Rumple.
Yeah.
His revenge becomes what he
I think he
lives
even
for.
mentioned a couple times that he didn't. Him killing the Dark One was a complete suicide mission.
Oh, it was. Mm-hmm. It was.
He did not plan on living after he had killed Rumple. And I think meeting Emma gave him something to live for.
Mm-hmm. And then, so when he gets to Emma, he gets this quick glimpse in the Enchanted Forest of what could be, right? And the kind of man he could be again. So he doesn't necessarily, so now he's in the Captain Hook phase, which is really dark and really gritty and really So then he meets Emma, and he starts really kind of going back to his moral compass, but finding his moral compass on his own as well, because he wants to be that man that she deserves. And so then, you get in this phase where then he's no longer Captain Hook, he's just Hook. And then by the time they really start getting together, he starts becoming Killian Jones again. And then eventually, when sacrificing himself as to get rid of the Dark One, that is just raw Killian. He's back to being Killian. He's back to being that, young boy full of hope and, super compassionate and super, because I feel like that's what I picture him as a small child. And so it's just the stages of Killian Captain Hook Jones, and it's beautiful, and it's kind of really amazing to watch on screen how they portray that. So I feel like that was the culmination of he had to go back to the rebirth. I'm going to throw out another Phoenix metaphor of he had to go back to square one of just being Killian so he can be Killian Jones again. And yeah, there you go. Kim Soliloquy 2.0.
Yay!
Kim's killing it tonight, guys.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
I do have to go back to what Justine said about it being a suicide mission, because it always makes me think of The Outsider. When he was ready to die, he did not care. He was ready for Rumple to rip his heart out, and he even
Beat
told
him to death.
Yeah, he's like, rip my heart out, kill me like you did Mila, and I'll finally be reunited with her. And it was just so heartbreaking that this guy who spent so long, and he doesn't even care anymore if he gets his revenge. He's just so ready to have everything over with. It just hurts. And then when he was in the hospital, and I was like, if I pick Dead Guy of the Year, I pick you. And he didn't care. He's like, oh, well, I hurt his heart, so that was good enough for him. Because at least Rumple wasn't happy. And even if he did die, Rumple wouldn't have Belle.
Yeah. I think, because, yeah, Killian's reaction when Emma was like, yeah, you're Dead Guy of the Year, he's like, yeah, I am. I'm a dead man walking, and that's okay with me.
Mm-hmm.
She noticed that in him as well, because the way she looked at him when he said that,
Mm-hmm.
you could tell she got it, you know?
Yeah.
She understands what that feels like. She's been there herself.
Oh, definitely. I don't think to that extent, but...
Yeah, not to that extent, but she's definitely questioning.
Going back to him sacrificing himself. The music, obviously. Like,
No.
again.
No.
Stop it.
No.
Why does it always have to be so heartbreaking? Why?
Damn you, Mark.
Sarah, I need you to send a letter to Mark and either thanking him or just berating him or both,
Or both.
for doing this
Both.
to us.
Both is good.
He enjoys the pain. I think I've mentioned this
He
before.
does.
He enjoys our pain.
Yes, he does.
And you know,
Well,
when
the
he
fact that he can write, that he can compose music like that just invokes such a reaction out of us. Like, obviously the scene would still be horrible on its own, but when you add the music in, it just elevates your emotions to such a level, I think. And I think all music does that, and I love that about it.
Mm-hmm.
I love how he can take that theme and make it either so beautifully positive or so heartbreakingly horrible, you know?
Yes.
Those same few
Heartbreaking.
notes can either elicit tears of happiness or tears of sadness.
It's
Or
all
him
to do with
disgusting
the background.
sobbing.
It's all to do with what's in the background. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And it complements it so well, but it's just chuffy neck. It's heartbreaking.
Mhm.
And if it's faster, slower, like it's just a
Yeah.
few little notes, or if it's a minor or major, and it's just, kills me.
So good.
And then, like, going
So
back to
good.
the scene as well, like, it took Colin and Jen all night to film. So imagine, like, Jen spending all night crying over and over. And at one point, she was screaming, like, Killian over and over. I mean, how exhausting that must be. Jen and Colin deserve all the awards for that scene, because imagine how exhausting that was for them.
yeah, definitely.
No, ma'am.
That scene had to have been emotionally and physically exhausting to
Yes.
film.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even want to think about how sore Jen's throat probably was the next morning.
But not even like a throat, because like even like just from crying so much, because for the genuine tears, like you get yourself into that kind of place, don't you? So like so dark, like you're crying constantly and doing that all night. It's just bloody hell.
Can we
the
get off
award.
the angry train, please, for a minute?
Yeah.
I need to cool
Let's
down.
do that, because I'm
speaking
on the
of-
verge of tears.
Speaking of, our number 3 is a lot lighter.
Yay.
Well,
Number 3,
I wouldn't say lighter, but
maybe
you
a
know.
little more fun, maybe, is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
I think
Yeah.
dark would summarize it though.
Oh, okay. Number 3 is collectively all of Dark Hook, because we couldn't pick just one moment.
Because we can't just pick one.
There's no one moment.
And there was
No.
not enough.
No, it
No,
was
there was not.
dangerous. It was entertaining. It was dark, and
It was more
you could tell-
eyeliner.
It was
It was
illicit.
sexy.
It's my
Love
favorite
it.
thing that they've ever done, I
Yeah.
think, on this
Yes.
show, hands down.
It was
That
so
was one of
funny
the
as well,
best
though.
twists that they
It
could
the
gave
have
last
done.
song.
Colin.
It was Justine. It
gave-
was a super good twist that I did not see coming.
I know.
No,
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
one saw this shit coming.
My favorite thing
Sometimes
when
Once is really good with their plot twists. Like, for example, the Dark Hook plot twist was really great. Everyone saw that Peter Pan was like Rumpel's father. Everyone had a feeling that Neil was actually Balefire. So this was a plot twist that really worked and was really unexpected, and I'm honestly so glad that we got to see it.
Yes.
Yeah, my favorite thing when the spoilers were coming out and like we saw Killian Jones and Emma Swan on the sword, and we're like, oh, they're gonna be the new like King Arthur and Guinevere.
Yes.
Like,
On
that's so
Camelot.
good.
You're like,
Michael
oh
King
my God.
Camelot.
You're like,
Everything
oh,
was
look,
so-
they're on the.
Everything was so
You're like-
positive. Like we were.
Yeah.
We were all just so,
Like,
we had
we
such
were
a high.
blindsided
Yeah,
by
I
it.
mean, like,
People were saying that was a
Captain
wedding.
Keaton did like that drawing of Killian on the throne and like Dave giving him the crown. I was like, so
Yes.
Kind of the round table, like all these theories that were so positive, and then no.
How
He's
wrong
done.
we were.
Like,
And I am so glad we were wrong.
all right.
Which, going back to Camelot, who's in charge now? Because Arthur's dead.
Guinevere.
Lancelot and Guinevere.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guinevere went back. Went
Yeah.
All right, well, good.
But yeah,
Guinevere
my
and
favorite
Lancelot.
Dark Hook moment though has to be him mimicking Rumpel.
Yes.
And
Oh
it's just like,
yes.
we do at noon on my ship. I was just like, oh my god.
Noon at noon.
Because I read that Bobby didn't know he was going to do that, so that was all
Yes.
Colin.
Yes.
And you could
Which-
see that he was laughing in his head. You could see his
Oh,
face.
yeah.
He was like,
He's a hardcore
Exactly.
actor. He can
And
sing
it's
character.
it's so good because it's not Colin acting like Rumpel. It's Colin playing Killian, who is now this dark one, who is mocking Rumpel, who was the dark. Like it's like such a intricate thing, and it gave Colin such a
Depth.
so much. Well, yeah, so much depth and so much room to show us what he can really do. Because we don't always really get these different dynamics with them, obviously, because he's not always evil, and so I feel like it just really gave his acting abilities a chance to shine. And God, I wish we got more of the Dark Hook. Like I was ready for like the
Yeah.
second half of the season to be dark.
Yeah. That would have been so much
I would
fun.
have loved that.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I thought that's where they were going when he was first became a Dark One after birth and all that. I thought that was leading into the second season.
I think Colin wanted that as well because like you could tell how much fun he was having, you know, playing that role. It was, and you know, he always says in interviews, he always
he's
like
being
just
evil.
despite like Jen saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
hang on a minute," he does enjoy playing Hook a bit darker, a bit more cheeky.
Who wouldn't enjoy playing the darkness and the bad guy? Like I think everyone kind of.
it's more fun,
Yeah,
isn't
Jen
it?
said she
Yes.
liked playing dark too.
Yeah. I think it's because it goes back to what they always say about why they like acting though. It's like you get to pretend to be someone you're not. So it's like if you're generally in your day-to-day life like a good person or whatever who always makes the right choices, then I guess it's more fun to play a bad character
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
because you get to do stuff that you wouldn't normally do. So yeah.
And then that particular scene where he's going back and forth with Rumpel gives me one of my favorite gifs of all time. The no.
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 That's my favorite
I-
Dark Hook moment the entire time.
I was like, oh my god, yes! It was so beautiful.
I can't look at that scene the same way though now because I just think of the
Blooper
blooper
reel.
reel, the blooper reel where he can't get the sword all the way to the other end of the room.
Did you guys see the gifts that someone made of like the actual scene, and then they put the blooper reel at the end?
Yes.
Next to compared.
No, it wasn't comparing. It was saying like that was the actual scene. Like Dark Hook couldn't get the sword across. Yes. Oh.
His finger movements when he just no, like great.
And then that whole part about him like wanting to get retribution for everything that was taken away
Yes.
from him. Like
Yes.
for Mila, I'll take your heart. For filling Emma with the darkness. I think your head will do quite nicely. His little playful dark one in that moment was so reminiscent of Rumple's dark one, but still mocking him. It was so perfect.
Iconic.
And it always goes back to like what I said earlier, is his eyes are so expressive and so attractive, and like he has this like the whole Dark Hook, he has this like little twinge of like just completely unhinged craziness in his eyes, because it's just so clouded over with the revenge. And it didn't really like click into place until he used the magic. Like the second he changed his clothes, he was the dark one. It was done. Like before that, he was like, I'm not gonna hurt Emma. I'm not gonna do this. Like I know who you are. I'm not listening to you. But then the second he changed his clothes, it clicked, and he was consumed with his revenge.
You mean it had nothing to do with the fact that his hair was parted to the other side?
I mean, that must be it too. But,
yeah. Okay, no, just like even as Dark Hook Voice has a conscience, because when he got the chance to like kill Rumple, he hesitated. It's I don't know. Yeah. It's still in there.
Well, I think also because all he needed was his blood.
Yeah.
And what he had planned for them was so much worse.
That's a good point, yeah.
I don't know. I am still a little disappointed that they didn't have it to where Hook and Merlin had kind of planned that whole thing, and Dark Hook was actually like on like Team Hero side.
That's what I thought for a very long time.
Justin, I thought that too.
Up to the very last minute, I thought he was playing all of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, me too.
And then I'm like, no, he's actually not.
A lot of sense, because he literally gave them Excalibur, the one thing that can actually kill him, and he gave it to Rumple, the person who wants to kill him the most.
Exactly, that's what I'm like. It's like I'm not. Yeah.
Also, that potion of like Dark Curse was just conveniently in Granny's kitchen, brewing away. Is there something Granny wasn't telling us? Like,
there's lots of things Granny's not telling you.
Granny's got a lot of stuff in her kitchen, guys. All right.
It's full of secrets.
I liked all his moments with Emma, because even when Regina's house, when he was dropping those truth bombs, because every time before he's always so careful what he says to Emma, but this time he was actually able to be like completely honest, tell her what she needed to know.
And she really did need to hear it. As horrible as it was and as mean as he worded it, it was all, like you said, it was total truth bombs that kind of needed to just be said.
And then he capped it off with the lip bite, and I was like, damn it.
Yeah. I'm like, I hate you right now for doing this to Emma, but God, you're so sexy. Stop it. I'm so conflicted.
This field when they were yelling, and
those scenes were so intense. All the Camelot scenes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The one that kills me, and it was on my list. It was when he's yelling at her, and he's like, "You threw me right back into that darkness. Job well done, Emma." And then when he's like, "Where is my shiny new tether?" Because he was a slave. He was a slave, and he had to be controlled.
Oh my God.
And then if you go back to when Rumple had his heart, he was also being controlled. So I think the worst possible fate for Killian is being controlled by something or someone and not having the free will to do what he wants. And then when Emma uses it on him, it just... And I know she doesn't mean to, but she did it, and his face.
I think that was the moment for me. I think that was the moment that turned it around. It's like, I think he was managing to fight it off like well enough up until that moment, and then I think
didn't he even say that, like, the moment you used Excalibur on me, or you lied to me about it or whatever?
And
I completely agree with that. You can tell, like, it just completely switches. It's like say we keep saying this since episode, go big or go home. He's gone now, well, we assume.
I love just getting to watch him use magic.
Yes. Oh, yes.
It's so sexy. I love that it was red too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I loved his smoke color.
I love how the first time he uses magic was just to give himself a wardrobe change.
I mean, I would too.
Wouldn't you?
I mean, true.
Well, he looked like a monk, so he has to change himself.
When does he look
Killian prides himself on his looks too, because if he He's never been one to be like a grungy like, and I wonder if that's almost like a lingering like Royal Navy thing to be so kept well and have
I think
to
so,
look
and
nice.
also maybe being so grungy and kind of makey looking reminds him too much of his days as a slave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that is a.
saying about this slave thing, man. It's getting me upset. Oh my gosh.
He's very metrosexual.
Yes, I agree.
He is very
Agree, 'cause
dedicated to that aesthetic.
Well, I feel like
He's so well kept.
Well, his scruff is so well calculated though too, right? Like it's not like too scruffy and it's not like too clean shaven. So like he is very, very picky about his scruff.
And his
which
hair
is, like,
gets gelled. His hair is
Yeah.
gelled.
Yes.
He has an earring.
Yeah.
Wears eyeliner.
He has multiple earrings.
He has
he
chest
does.
hair, I'm
Yeah, I
sure.
Woo.
Yes, he does have multiple earrings.
Y'all, you're doing something to me right now. Y'all need to stop.
He knows how to make
All of
himself,
his jewelry.
you know,
Yeah.
his best.
JMO, do you need to go and have a quick break, like freshen up?
Maybe.
Cold shower.
Be back in 5.
I really loved that scene where we get him coming out of the vault because it gave us a little bit of inside look as to what happens when you become a Dark One, and I thought that was super interesting.
It was really creepy as well, though. Like the way his face kind of went in and out of focus, like, and it moved really fast. It was,
Yeah, I think that was some of the special effects that actually worked on this show.
Yeah.
the shade.
Shade. I know.
Shade of it all.
What shade? I don't know what you're talking about.
He's throwing shade like it's sunny.
I do love his crazy grins, though, that he gets as the Dark One.
Juicy grins.
They're so dark and creepy. It's like...
Yeah. You know what I thought when I saw those grins? I was just like, I really want to see Colin play the Joker.
Yes!
Can you imagine? Like,
I think you broke Ray.
And J-Mo! Yeah! You don't understand.
You
oh
don't
my
even
god,
know what's
can you
going on.
imagine Colin as the Joker and Jen as Harley Quinn?
That's literally what I'm writing.
Yeah,
Really?
Yes.
She's already doing the thing, Jenna. She's
I
already
know.
doing
doing it.
The thing.
It's future doing the thing, it's the future.
There's some great noises coming out of us right now.
The whole
Welcome to
episode.
Planet Captain Fun.
All right, let's move on to number 2.
Oh yeah, we're
Yes,
doing a list, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oops.
Number 2 is Killian turning his ship around to help save Storybrooke at the end of season 2.
Hell yeah!
Hell yes.
Yeah, this was kind of like a defining moment for Killian at this stage, you know.
It was really a turning point.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's
Yeah.
everyone, you know, possibility of him being seen, being more than that, just that saucy pirate. There's more to him than that. You know, it's the start of something beautiful.
It was kind of like him choosing his own path in a way and changing his fate and the start of his redemption arc and
He's
caring
being the man
about
he
someone.
wants to be.
Yeah. Even though, you know, he may not have... It's a little late on the whole thing. But at least he came back.
He got there eventually.
It's like A for effort and U for execution.
It's sad because it's true.
He tried, guys, okay?
He tried really hard. Really hard.
Did his best.
I know a lot of people count that as like a Captain Swan moment, but I think that Killian was more thinking about Neil and / Balefire when he was turning his ship around. I think Emma's speech about being a part of something definitely had an effect on him and made him think about things. But what really made him turn around was Neil's memory.
Yeah. Because right after her speech, that was when she said
Neil
that he
was
died.
Henry's father. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the part that really affected him.
Mm-hmm. Because he never got closure with him. Which
Yeah.
is just which is also another person that he never got closure with, or at least he didn't think he would ever get closure with because they died before he could really make amends, so to speak.
I
And
think
it's
it's
like,
Belfire's last word, like his words to him on the ship as well, because like he said, oh, you'll never change, you're just selfish, blah blah blah, you're just like him. So I think that memory probably came back to him, and it was just like, I need to choose not to be like that. I need to, try and change and be a better person. So
I'm gonna bring it up now because you mentioned it, but that was gonna be my honorable mention moment. But
oh, sorry.
it's fine. It's fine. It's perfect segue real quick, because it's short. But like that whole scene was when he was saying like, I can change for you, and I can do this. And the fact is that he's already done it. He had changed for his brother Liam. He had cleaned himself up. He joined the Navy, and he wanted to be a better man to be with Liam. And they were going to go on their hero's journey and all that. So the fact that Bay didn't believe that he could change kind of like flipped his persona, like, oh, well, maybe it's not worth it because look what happened to my brother, even though I changed. Like, there's no point, basically, to being a good man. Because then he gave him over to the Lost Boys. So it was kind of like, it just hurts.
I don't know. Maybe he even thinks that he really can't change. It's not that he doesn't want to. He just feels like he can't.
One of his flaws is that he does hate himself a lot. He
So
always puts himself down a lot. Oh yeah, I'm just a pirate
on his shoulders.
Yeah. So that is one of his flaws. So you can kind of understand why, like, oh, he's right. Yeah, I kind of deserve this.
Yeah.
And then just like going back to that, turning his ship around. He's had time to think. So, when in the spur of the moment, it's quick to just put your walls up and just think, like Emma. It's just like Emma and Killian are so similar. Their instinct is to run and take what they want. Well, with Killian, like, take what you want kind of thing. But then Killian has got time to think, and it's like, well, actually, I've got this second chance. As you guys said, I can do Bay right. I can. There's people who actually are giving me this chance. I am actually more than this pirate. And he turns the ship around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great. It's just a shame it was a bit late, really, wasn't it?
It's only a TV show. Come on.
At least he was right just in time to start the search for Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It worked. It's fine.
Well, if it had been around, then Henry might not have been taken because.
Yeah, that's what David says to him. Like, if you hadn't taken the bean, Henry would have been taken. It would have been. And he went on about like.
You could spend your life going, what if this happened? What if that happened?
I mean, you could even
that's what's important.
Especially on this.
Well, if Regina didn't have a freaking
Grudge
basically what was a bomb that could destroy Storybrooke, none of that would have happened.
Yeah, you got to live on. He made the right choice in the end, and that's the important thing. And I think that was the start where we saw more of the Killian that we know today. It's just a hint of it, only a tiny hint, a long way to go.
Yeah. It really was, because then in the season 3 premiere, he starts questioning his revenge and do you
because he does have that really great dialogue with Regina about villains not getting happy endings.
Exactly, and saying how I hope not, or we've wasted our lives. And it's just I love this self-realization and maybe I should not do all this horrible stuff all the time. Well, and even in the 220, he was saying revenge may state your being, but it's an end, not a beginning. So he kind of knows from the get-go, like we were saying earlier, it's a suicide mission. So he knows from the get-go that it's not something that'll bring him a happy ending. Whereas Regina sees it as a means to a happy ending, but he's like, listen, let me tell you how this goes.
As someone who's been in the revenge game for 200 years.
Yeah. No one knows.
All right, our number 1 moment is his introduction in the crocodile.
Oh, hello!
Hello! The pan up.
We're talking.
The pan up.
Classic.
Which
classic,
wasn't even his first
iconic.
scene.
It wasn't. No, there was a little tiny
thing.
scene in the tavern.
Yeah, where he's in it just kind of in the background and he has one line.
Yeah, it makes you think oh, hello, hot extra, how are you doing?
I know, I totally thought he was just a hot extra, and I was like, yes, say more words.
Say more
He's trying to force me.
Open your mouth.
And then he started saying more words, and I was like, yes.
Did no one else see the promo photos before the episode aired?
Oh, I did.
I didn't, because
No.
I
All
think,
about it.
Then.
yeah, I think
was obsessed.
the crocodile was maybe the second or third episode I had ever seen, and I watched them all on Hulu because I was just catching up. So I wasn't in the fandom for season 1, so I didn't know that this guy was supposed to be like Captain Hook until literally he's like, "Let's go to Neverland," and then I was like, "Oh, that's who that is."
The hook didn't give it away.
I was
Apparently
part of the fandom, but not like actively. Like I didn't get like fully into it into like the spoilers scene until season 3. Like I've been part of the show since season 1 for the first episode, but
Yeah.
so I didn't really actually get involved until like I think it was when Zelina kissed Killian's lips, and I was like, nope. I've got to get me all the spoilers. I need to know right now. Do not do this to me. That was the point when I got fully involved in the fandom.
I can't really
Same
remember
one.
when I got in the fandom, but I definitely know that before the crocodile aired, I was on Twitter at the time, like, because I remember tweeting.
Oh, yeah, I was on Twitter.
I remember
yeah.
tweeting about the promo photo when it came out and being like, because I had known Colin from the tutors, so I just remember hearing that he got cast and then hearing that he was made a regular, and then the promo photo came out, and then finally the crocodile aired, and it was like mass chaos on Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
I can only
thought-
imagine.
Yeah, I didn't come into the fandom until like season 3. So the first like spoiler photos I saw were of good form. And
Oh, that
And
was
their
like a
kids.
brilliant day for the CS
Oh, wait,
fandom.
it
was.
That was like the best day.
it was a great introduction into this fandom.
I remember that day and how everyone
Yes.
just lost their collective minds.
Mm-hmm. Twitter was good that day. Well, that week, it were a week full of just joy. You know, just joy.
I also really like the introduction to him as officially as Captain Hook, where he at the end of the episode where he puts the hook in to the holder and he's like, you know, we're
Yeah.
going
That
to
was
Neverland, and I
hot.
just thought this is like
Oh,
so iconic
hot.
right here.
And his
It
little
is.
head drop and smirk and
Neverland. It's so hot.
No, terrible accent, but okay.
Sorry.
Neverland!
I don't care. I was excited. Cut that out. I
We'll
don't
keep it
Sorry.
Just one thing that's always annoyed me about Captain Hook is those boots. Like, why do they have to be so long and pointy? Like,
Well, that's how
why?
pirate
Yeah.
boots were.
you know what really grind my gears is those stupid hats. Those stupid hats the crew is wearing that were like typical old like 1960s Disney pirates crap that you see on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Like, no.
I can't.
Oh,
With me, it was like, you know, those, like, it's not actually like wearing just like full, but it's also wearing those like cover ups, and you can tell, like, the cover over his boots. Do you know
yeah.
what
Yeah.
I mean? Yeah, so that's obvious as well. I'm just like,
Can
Well,
we talk
didn't,
about that within the first 5 minutes that we get the introduction on the Jolly? We get one of the most iconic Killian Jones lines to this day, and it was in the first episode. A man unwilling to fight for what he wants deserves what he gets.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was my number 1.
You're welcome.
And it ties into him so
It
brilliantly.
does.
Yeah.
He literally
Yeah.
fights for everything he has.
He does. That's like such like a
Absolutely.
character-defining line, and we literally get it within like 2 minutes of actually meeting him. Not him just
Mhm.
kind of being in the background, like literally meeting him.
And with
Jenna, so initially you had a problem with our dear Captain Hook. What was your issue with him initially, and how were you like sold?
oh yeah, so that iconic line was like made me really want to punch him in the face. Like, like
Okay.
a man unwilling to fight for what he wants deserves what he gets. I was just like, oh my god, he's like such a bully. Like, this is a cripple, and like, I was just like, you are such a jerk. And then
Meanwhile, we're singing the praises of this line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, like,
whereas I was just there like, oh, he's such an asshole. I didn't really start liking him until he I think until good form.
Oh, yeah,
When
that's
I
a long time.
saw a bit
Yeah.
more of his backstory and just kind of realized there was more to him than that kind of jerk pirate. Um, and I don't know, just I guess the complexity of his character was shown in that episode.
Yeah.
And up until that point, it was a bit more kind of one-dimensional and a bit more just like this, kind of guy who wasn't that nice and
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making sense, but hey,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
kind of how I felt.
I can
So.
see
Yeah.
that.
I was in the fandom then. Like, I was following a lot of people, and I was kind of lurking in the fandom.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it was a lot of like, I love my trash can son. My son who was born in a trash can or in a dumpster. Like, people acknowledge, like, he is not likable in the second season. It wasn't
Yeah.
like people were like, oh, he's such a great guy. Like, why don't more people like him?
Oh,
It's
like-
very reminiscent of he's like the worst, and I love him for it.
Like, initially, like, I think I was like really like, oh, this is attractive and he's cheeky and it's fun. And it's like finally a villain who can actually have meant to show a bit more fun. I mean, I don't know. Before that, yeah, it was alright, but Killian brought this new sense of life to it. I mean, even the current president of ABC said, Once Upon a Time got better when Hook was introduced, and I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I definitely always liked the little cheeky pirate moments that were kind of fun.
Mhm.
Because I think he brought a lot of funny moments and sarcasm to it. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, there's just certain moments that I really didn't like him, like, as a character, like, as a person, up until,
Yeah.
good form and onwards, I kind of grew to
Yeah.
him.
I don't really think we were supposed to like him as a
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
until like
Yeah,
Like,
I
every
liked him
episode,
from
I
day
was like-
one.
I was every
Yeah,
I
I did, but
not be in it, please. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan of every part
But
of
there
it.
wouldn't have been any type of there wouldn't have been any type of progression with the redemption if we all liked, didn't have an issue with
Exactly.
him at the beginning, Like
Yeah.
it gave there to be a story to grow and develop.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I am a sucker for the bad boys. Like on every TV show, I like Damon Salvatore, Klaus Michelson, like literally all the bad guys I have a thing for. So
Yeah.
I was not surprised when he came on. I was like, yep, okay, that's mine. I like you. Hello.
I'm shallow. As soon as I saw that promo photo, I was like, "You're my fave.
You're my
my
yeah.
I'm obsessed. Obsessed.
Yep. Hot bad boys.
Like, let's be honest,
Done.
we are all a part of the Jack Sparrow generation. So
Yeah.
anytime
Yeah.
you're gonna bring on pirates to anything, it's just
Mhm.
gonna make it instantly better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Except for those hats.
Except for the hats.
I mean, I don't mind those hats. The hats I do mind are like those ridiculous taco hats.
That's what I'm talking about. Those are the hats. Oh no. Those are the hats I'm talking about. I'm talking about Jack Sparrow's hats. I'm talking about
Okay.
those stupid taco hats that his crew had on. That was
The
yeah.
ones from Good Form. Like, those are
Yes.
why? Why did
So
those exist?
bad.
I'm quite weird. Like, I didn't get fully into Pirates of the Caribbean until Once Upon a Time. Like, I watched the films, I had the posters, but I became more obsessed with Pirates of the Caribbean after Killian Jones.
See,
Yeah.
Pirates was my first obsession. That was my first
I have like
fandom.
posters and stuff, and I watched the films, but I didn't
Sparabit
truly,
all the
I
way.
didn't truly appreciate it
Sparabit.
until actually, because Killian. I don't know what he does to me. He just, we could be here all day, couldn't we? to be
Dude,
fair?
we all know what he does to you. He does it to everyone. Sorry, not sorry.
All right, so that's our top 5. So let's go on to some of our honorable mention moments that we had on our individual lists that did not make it into the group top 5. So Rachel already did hers, technically.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
What? You said you did.
No, she's just joking with you.
Oh.
But, I mean, I have another one I haven't talked about. Shh.
Don't ruin everyone's day.
I need to bring up Mila, okay?
Okay, yes. Okay.
Mila.
I'm totally fine with that.
Okay, so I was really pissed off in the Devil's Due when Mila and Killian were literally like so close, like 2 seconds from getting closer.
Don't even. I'm angry about it.
I needed I was shaking. I was so mad. Like, I started crying because I was so mad that, like, they didn't get any closure.
I was furious.
And, it just made me so mad because, and Emma understood that closure that he needed because she got it with Neil. She got that closure, so she knew what that felt like. And the fact that he comes out and they say Mila, and his face just, like, breaks and his voice breaks, and he's just like, Mila was here. And it's like the whole reason that he's alive now, because he spent 300 years trying to avenge her, and the fact that he got no closure with her just absolutely kills me and pisses me off so much.
Dude, I was about...
Damn it, Rumple.
My ass was still in Oregon going to school. I was literally about to jump in my car, drive all the way back down to LA, and, like, protest in front of the ABC offices. I was like, I got called to make tickets I am ready.
Mila deserved better. And it just, it pisses me off so much.
I'm so angry.
And right, anyone who's listening's feelings on Mila, they needed that closure.
They did, and it's not like it's not like I ship them together, because obviously I think Emma brings something to the table for Hook that Mila never could or never did. I don't know. It's just it's different, but he still needed that closure, and the fact that once again Rumple took that away from him, just like he takes everything else away from him.
Not even to mention that Rumple effectively killed her again.
Again.
And
the fact that they just totally got it. And you could totally see on Emma's face that she knew he was lying.
Oh, yeah.
There was no doubt in my mind. And the fact that
something is up here.
Yeah, she knew something was up and something was wrong. But she didn't really have time to question it because they had to get out of there. But it just kills me every time I think about that. And the fact that they didn't get like it's so unfair to both of their characters that they didn't get that. Because I guarantee you that was Mila's unfinished business.
Oh,
her and Neil, or him and Neil, were the unfinished business for her.
Yeah.
That's my Mila rant. Okay, I'm done.
That was great. Thank you.
It was much needed.
I could go on a Mila rant like every day, 365 days a year.
Justine and I are going to do a special episode.
Yes. I'm so down for that.
Okay, Kim.
Where are my notes? Sorry. Surprise!
You're the first on my little box.
Okay. So, surprise, Kim's third, this was my third on my personal list, is a Captain Charming moment. And that's when Killian saves David in good form. And I think it's one of my favorites because, again, it shows Killian's compassion and why he goes on what some would say would be a fool's errand, saving someone who doesn't want to be saved. Because at this point, David's kind of like, no, I'm good. They'll know I'm fighting for him. Like, no, you stubborn asshole. He can save you. Like, come on. Like, so for me, it was really, he thought of everything really quick on the fly, which is, also an epitome of Killian Jones, and, put his life on the line to save David's. And because the Dream Shade could have gotten him as much, you know what I mean? Like, who pointed that out to me? Was that Jenna? When she was like, when he comes through the branches and he like looks over himself like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I never noticed that before. And that, so he puts himself in harm's way to try to save someone else because, I think we're still kind of at a lone survivor kind of standpoint with Killian in his character development, where he's like, screw it, I don't have anything to live for, no one's really looking for me, I don't care, it doesn't matter if I die, but I have to save this guy who's got, Snow, Emma, Henry, he's got all of this going on that, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's really important.
Yeah.
So
I think Killian recognizes that David has people to live for.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think he can put himself into David's position. Like, I think he's like thinking, well, like if I had Mila, or if I had a child, if I had a family, then, I would this is a horrible fate for someone who has that. So he doesn't want to put David through that or his family through that.
I need like a little minute of David and Killian on Turk and JD's head from Scrubs as they're singing "Guy Love."
Yes. Yeah.
I need it.
I need it now.
I need that like yesterday.
Someone did the thing.
I can't manip, damn it.
I cannot either.
Hi, listeners, or Ray. Can someone do the thing, please?
If you guys send me the pictures, I can, because I've never watched.
Lindsay, you're up.
Oh, okay. So this is my number 2, and it was Killian as the dashing Prince Charles. I mean,
Yeah.
this is like, you know, we've seen him in good form as this Navy guy and everything, but this proves, you know, this episode kind of like proved that, or double episode, that Killian could still be this guy, and you know, this it's just so hot in this episode. I can't just put it out there. It's very hot in this episode. I mean, like, we find out he can dance. Oh my days! He knows some moves. Oh my days! And then he can actually fight with a sword, despite what happened at that lake with Emma. He knows how
total
to fight.
sham.
Absolutely. Out my refund, please. You know, and it connects with all the characters. You know, it gets on with Dave. Him and Dave bonding. That was beautiful. I know Kim loved that bit.
I love that part because he's like, I hope you remember this.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring it up in future conversations.
Yeah.
And just this whole episode, like, we can see him. He's a lot more open. Because obviously, like, as a pirate, people still say to him, like, oh, you're still a pirate. Well, no one actually knows him as a pirate. Only Emma. But even, like, Emma's mind is already being changed, and you can tell per episode. And at the end, obviously, she gives him a little smooch, as Colin would say. And yeah, I do love that. It's so much fun.
Gabby, you're up.
Oh gosh. My moment was previously mentioned was about Captain Beauty at the end of the price when she asked him how did the true love's kiss work, and he said it didn't work, but that he spent centuries trying to kill the Dark One. He could spend at least that much trying to fight for the woman he loves. And I think it's the first time we've ever heard him say it out loud. We all knew he loved her, but to say it out loud that he loves her, it's like, oh.
That was the first time we saw
Didn't he
heard
say it to Ariel/Zelina though?
He did, yeah.
He did.
Oh yeah.
He did.
He said her name. He didn't.
But it
say
was
it
more like she asked him, "Do you still love her?" And he was
yeah.
like, "Yes."
Okay.
But he didn't actually say it.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we
Until
knew.
the first.
We know. Like I said, Killian feels so strongly. He's felt it, you know, quite early on.
Yeah, way before
Yeah.
her. Yeah.
But again, like we said for episode, he's very patient, you know, and as I said in your scene, you know, he can wait.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Well,
persistent.
he even tried the True Love's Kiss in New York Serenade. So it's
Yes,
like,
he
did.
ugh, this poor man.
Poor guy.
waiting for a
Has
long
anyone
time.
told him yet that like TLKs don't work on memory charms? Like, please someone tell him that.
So tell this poor man.
Like even like Colin said like he'd have given up by now, but Killian's a totally different level.
Yeah.
Killian feels so strongly, and he believes. I think he actually believes it's true love from early on. I
Yeah,
genuinely do think
Yeah.
he believes
Yeah.
that. So, you know,
If he was attempting that so early, then yeah, I think he was
Yeah.
feeling that way.
But in the
And-
price, he was the dark one already, so it's not like he didn't know. That's why
Exactly.
it was
Oh, shit. I forgot about that.
Mind blown.
JMO, your turn.
All right. So personally, my number 2 on my list was when it was Dark Hollow when they were in the Echo Cave, and when Killian admits that he kissed Emma, and that it wasn't necessarily what he like his deepest darkest secret. It was what it exposed, and that he never thought he could feel anything like he felt for Mila until he met Emma. And I was like, he finally said it in front of everybody, and it made me feel so emotional because he was finally letting that guard down.
Yes.
He's such a little puppy too, when he like his face is just.
He brings me alive.
Yeah,
That's a lot to confess in front of people like that. That's
especially her parents. Like,
yeah. I'd be so
and her
scared.
ex.
with Dave in the previous and like 2 episodes prior, like him saving his life. I was like, that's some heavy shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, that reminds me. Can Neil hear their secrets from all the way like on his little?
I don't
Ledge?
know.
No,
I feel like not.
he couldn't because Killian thought he did,
Yeah.
and that's why he
exactly.
was like, oh,
Oh, okay.
this is awkward.
That's
He's
a
like,
good
oh,
So
point.
Killian
that's-
assumed he could, but then I guess he didn't hear him. So
Okay.
and he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh,
You didn't hear about
that's
Ardalians?
awkward.
Yeah.
I want to
Ardalians?
use that.
I love that word. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
Ardalians.
Stallion.
Good day, sir.
It sounds so nasty.
Good day.
Sorry, continue.
So mine is from season 5, where Hook is explaining to her what all the rings mean that he wears. And he says, that these are a reminder that all sins can be forgiven when someone loves you. And I love this scene for 2 reasons. Because one, because it's one of the first times we see him being brutally honest about what he's done in his past. Like not holding anything back about the type of person that he used to be. And he's using that as a way to try to get her to reveal what she's been hiding, because he believes that she's hiding this horrible thing that she did, and she doesn't want anyone to know about it. And so he's using this as a way to try to get her to reveal that. But at the same time, he's opening himself up to reveal these horrible things that he did, and not caring basically that this could change things, but because there's a more important matter here at stake. And then I also love that he kind of references back to their little awkward date they had earlier on the Jolly, where he basically says to her, I loved you, in the past tense. And he's turning around and being like, I was wrong. I love you no matter what you've done. I don't care what horrible deed you've done. I'm just going to love you no matter what. And I love that scene so much. I think Colin acted the shit out of that scene.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
This is brilliant.
Season 5A in general was probably some of the best acting.
Yes.
he's ever
Perfect.
done.
Absolutely
Like-
perfect.
I agree with you, but it's not the first time Killian has been open about what he's done, because when obviously he said about eventually he admitted that he stole Ursula's voice, and but to him, you could see how worked was about it. That was a big deal to him, and he was finally given the chance to redeem that. So I think you're completely right with what you're saying, but it's a progression. It's not the first time he's admitted he's made a mistake.
Well, this was
But
the
he's
first time where
progressive.
he's basically like, I killed 3 men. Like,
Okay,
you
yeah,
can't come
yeah.
back
Yeah,
from that,
but,
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
I killed these men in cold-blooded
Mhm.
murder, Like,
Yeah.
that's
It's more
what I
And I
did.
took these rings as a trophy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
kind of
it's
that's
more-
some heavy shit.
Yeah, it's more of a
absolutely,
glimpse into his
Well,
violent
also-
past that they've
also
alluded
nice.
to. They've alluded to it, but they've never actually said it until
Exactly.
that.
That's
Which
what
also-
annoys me about the
Are
promo.
we going to talk about how there's a continuity error with some of the rings,
No.
or no?
No.
Stop it.
But
Yes, what's your continuity issues?
it was kind of in the promo leading up to that episode about him stealing Ursula's voice. Everyone was saying, no, it's the worst thing ever, and kind of thing. And compared to killing someone, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
No,
like how he also he owned up to being the villain in Rumple and Mila's story.
Yeah.
Yes.
When-
Yeah.
Yes.
I liked that as well. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't remember what episode that was, but I did.
Surprise. No, the
Yeah,
third
yeah.
Siege Perilous.
That was the same scene,
Perilous.
right, on the
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
Jolly?
just
Yeah. So,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm still working on I'm still trying to get through season 4 of the rewatch before I watch the season 5 again. It's very difficult.
Okay, Jenna, you're up.
Yay! All right. Well, I'm gonna go for a really like positive and happy moment.
Oh God.
Um, so my moment was sort of Killian's little crying moment after he trapped the fairies in the hat, and Emma and everyone comes in and they're like devastated that the fairies have gone and that the sort of thing that they were working on's been destroyed, and Killian's just like absolutely devastated that he's done this, and he's basically like taken away the hope that they had, and oh my god, it just gives me so many feels. Oh,
Jenna, so sad.
How
I
dare
know.
you?
I can't even watch
dare
that
you?
scene.
I just watched it and it was horrible.
I can't watch that.
I can't watch that scene either.
I'm gonna
Especially
pause the
when,
ball
like,
whiskey right now.
When he's talking to, when Mother Superior is like, please no, and he says something like, I'm sorry,
sorry.
I really am, or whatever, and I'm just like, oh.
and it just made my heart break so much because he's been trying to be so good and really change, and then he's just like being controlled by Rumpel and has no say in this, and is being forced to do these horrible things when he's just been trying so hard to be good. And
Yeah.
Justine, did you do your moment yet?
She's the last
No,
one.
I did not. Oh, yay!
Yay!
So I have a slightly happier one to break up the angst train.
Yay!
When Killian is teaching Henry how to use the sextant, and just kind of having that moment with Henry to talk about Neil, and for them to both kind of process their grief together, which is such a great moment. It like, I love how they made a point to have them both together and bonding before Killian and Emma officially got together. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, Henry's such a big part of Emma's life.
Well,
And-
he also didn't even have his memories either.
Yeah, exactly. To Henry, Killian was just this weird guy who likes to dress like a pirate. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Everyday cosplay.
And also, Killian is not good at lying at all. Because he's like,
Oh,
oh,
good.
yeah, I knew your dad when he was your age, and I was this age, and
Yeah,
I was an
like-
adult.
That whole
It's
arc of them lying to Henry was just so pathetic.
Like, they're
Yeah,
so
I
bad
loved
at
it.
lying. They're so bad. And then Henry's just like, oh, it's like a GPS. And Killian's like,
Yep.
yeah, sure.
Whatever.
All right,
Whatever,
yeah.
whatever the hell that is.
Whatever you say. Sounds good.
But yeah, that's just like such a sweet moment between the two of them that we really haven't gotten in a long time. And I want to see more in season 6. We will.
Operation
I'm
Light
so
Swan.
We will maybe.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Fingers crossed.
Wink, wink, nod, nod. Say no more.
I love
Yay.
any Daddy Killian scenes.
Yes.
Yeah, he brings light to my life, Daddy Killian.
Well, I think because Killian had obviously like the worst father. I mean, you can argue that there are a lot of terrible parents on Once Upon a Time, but I would say selling your 2 kids into slavery puts you up there as worst parent.
Yeah.
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 It-
I think
it-
that
it-
even tops Rumpel.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's saying
stems-
something.
Because say what you want about Rumpel. Rumpel loved Bae more than anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did.
Like the whole
did.
the whole reason he did the curse was to get back
Yeah.
to him. So it's
he,
like
he did everything he could to get back to Bae. So
And
like,
But the one
Like-
thing he needed to do, he wouldn't do. But
yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
that's none of my business.
That's none of my business.
That's not my business.
But I mean, him losing Bae was
His
more
business.
accident-y than like Brendan
Accidental?
literally
consciously
killing
accidental?
his kids.
children. Yeah.
Are you trying
Yeah.
to say accidental?
But it stems back to Adam Eddy's previous show, Lost. A big theme in Lost was all the best cowboys had daddy issues. So the father figures in that show, the worst
Oh yeah,
fathers.
Jack had major daddy issues.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and Sawyer, you know.
And yeah,
That was the big theme in Lost. So it stemmed onto this show as well completely.
Oh
I think
yeah.
Adam and Eddie have really bad daddy issues.
oh,
It's like they're just
that would
basically
explain a
working
lot.
through their daddy issues with the
Yeah.
shows.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That explains
yes!
so much.
That's what Damon Lindelof said. Like, he had a bad upbringing, so he wrote his basically wrote into Lost. So you're completely right, Jenna. It really is, and I think Adam Neddy continued that theme on.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Killian does see a lot of himself in Henry, despite Henry not being his, like, actual son. Yeah, his biological son. I think he sees a lot of Henry, or I think he sees a lot of, like, young Killian in Henry.
Yeah. And also a lot of young Bellfire in Henry as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
So, like,
Yeah.
obviously, he feels quite connected to Bellfire, and I think he sees that in Henry. So yeah.
And it's almost like a second chance to be able to do right by Bellfire, by doing right by Henry.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people say that part of Emma's season 1 and season 2 walls were her not being sure that she could be a good mother to Henry. I think Killian also has apprehension about being a good father figure.
I mean, but I figured that he was a pretty good father figure to Bae in Neverland. And I feel like...
Up until that thing happened.
I mean, up until that thing. But we don't talk about that thing. But, like, I feel like he's trying to fix the thing by being there for Henry. And I think he knows that wherever Bae is, wherever your metaphysical life choices think Bae is, would say, yeah, Killian, I'm okay with you spending time and being my kid's dad. If I can't, the only other person I'd rather have do it is you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, bonds between stepchildren and stepparents are totally valid and awesome and should be featured more in television. Just
definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, and also like we often forget that Killian Jones is disabled.
Yeah.
I mean, this is mainstream TV, and he's got a disability, and we don't really focus on it really, to fair apart from his hook, but he's a character on his own, he's a personality on his own, and you're completely right, Justine. They need their own identity.
Yeah. Because I mean, how often do you see, like, the main couple, like the lead couple of a show, feature one who is physically disabled?
Not very often.
Spot on, love.
But yeah, I have to say, I'm hoping, I'm not going to say any spoilers, but I'm hoping we're going to be seeing lots of Killian and Henry moments next season.
That'd
just
be cute,
like,
yeah.
Bonding with them two.
That'd be cute. I love it.
It would be cute because, like, it was like we've seen off screen, like we've put off screen, even in season 4, Killian's taken Henry sailing and stuff, and why can't we see that on the screen? I want to see this bonding.
Yeah. Same.
Or the scene where they're looking at houses in the newspaper.
Yeah. Like they allude to all these scenes, and then they just fill them with other stupid things that don't need to be in it.
Yes.
Sarah?
So.
What?
Sarah, do you need me to do the thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Press the do the thing button.
Do the thing.
We need like
It's being activated.
We need like a little chime or like a jingle.
Yeah.
Yes, like the more you know jingle or something.
Yeah.
As soon as you said them looking at newspapers for houses, I'm like, oh shit.
There you go. There it is.
Oh, we need to go with like a proper harmony where we all sing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Do that thing.
No.
Perfect.
Not enough alcohol in my cup. It's empty. Sorry.
I have a shit ton of alcohol. I'm here all night, mates.
So we had a question from Marianne, and she wanted to know what some of our favorite funny moments are.
Alright, I got one.
I have one.
Okay.
What are you doing? Sorry, that's why I was maniacally giggling, because I know.
If y'all didn't know that was coming, then y'all haven't been listening. Y'all...
Yeah, for real. For real. Like,
Emily's impressions bring me life.
oh. Yeah, and then that eye, when he gets up and leaves, and the eye flicked down to her tits. Oh my god! Every time. Like, so it's not just the.
so hard to make maintain eye contact
It's like,
too. And it's
no, look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face. Oh god, those boobs are great. Look at her face. Walk away. Like,
To be
it's
fair, if that's the situation, I'd do the same fucking thing.
I
Let's
know.
embrace you.
I mean, she's literally like adjusting them in front of him. Like, there's just you can't blame the guy.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's why he had to leave. He had to go leave.
I mean, especially when you got great boobs like Emma does. Like, come on.
Yeah.
so there you go. I think that's my favorite funny Killian Jones moment.
One of my favorites is when he's on the phone trying to call Eminence, and normally I just press the Emma button and she answers. Killian versus modern technology at its finest.
Yeah. Yeah, that
I
makes
love how
Advice.
like he tries to
Robin.
tell Robin how it works.
Yeah. And he's like,
Oh,
it's a
I know
picture
how to do
up inside her. And he's like, whoa, mate.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
About the
He
sonogram.
sounds so disgusted
Yeah,
about like the
I
fact
know.
that he might be seeing like the leaked vagina. He's just like, no, I'm good.
I also liked of obviously jealous of himself kissing Emma. He's like, well,
Yes.
why is this random fellow who is me technically kissing the girl that I want to kiss? And he just got so jealous. It was iconic.
Yeah.
So
I'm
fun.
His like that face that he pulls right before he like goes off to like go to the Jolly Roger, and she's
Oh.
about to like go and seduce Captain Hook. He's just like, it's such an I'm not jealous, you're jealous face.
yeah.
Yes.
I gotta bring it up again, but the one I brought up last time with Emma and him like picking her up and like, I think I should sit down. Like, I'm feeling better now. I just like every drum barrel's heavier than you, and I'm just like, oh my god. And then if you go back and watch it, like he's like almost trips over their dress, his jacket and her cloak and her skirts, and I'm like, I wonder if there's a blooper of them like just busting ass. Like,
Well, I mean, he also like trips going up the stairs.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Guys, Colin in a nutshell, though, like the amount of times in bloopers of Colin tripping over and falling over. I mean, in season 2, where it was out of 3 episodes because he broke his leg kicking the door in. I mean, oh, was it skiing? Oh,
It was
Yeah.
skiing, yeah.
It was
I
skiing.
mean,
but still,
God
yes.
damn it,
it's
Colin.
so
Colin is me.
clumsy. He is so clumsy.
And also, like, I remember for the roof jumping scene, he said something about wanting to do that stunt himself.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
He
and they
said
were like,
something about
no.
wanting to do the roof jumping scene himself, and everyone was like, "No, Colin,
No.
don't."
Colin, you will
Colin, no.
literally die. You will
Yeah.
literally die. Don't.
It's like I have to wonder how much of Captain Floor is like planned, and how much is just Colin fighting gravity.
Yes, Captain Floor. Yes.
Speaking of
point,
Captain Floor,
Justine.
that is my funny moment.
Colin's just decided that he can't fight against gravity any longer. He's just like, it's too hard, this.
I'm just
I need
too
to lie down.
clumsy.
He can't fight this feeling anymore.
I can't fight this feeling anymore.
Oh, it's karaoke tonight, guys.
Yes, oh my god.
Forget Rumple being Hook's like worst enemy. It's gravity.
So true.
So true. I also love how like tiny little librarian Belle was able to thoroughly kick his ass twice.
No,
I
like
feel like he doesn't. I feel like he throws fights with women quite a bit. like,
Yeah.
Oh,
like he doesn't want
I
to.
agree. I agree.
I
with
have
you.
a feeling those fights were not thrown.
Yeah,
Belle may be small, but she's scrappy.
she's a badass. Belle's a
I mean,
badass.
she's smart. She's strategic. She knew like pushing a freaking bookshelf on him was gonna like give her enough time to run away,
Yeah.
or like ramming him in the head with like an oar was gonna probably knock him out for a little bit.
Can we talk about the fact that Killian/Colin cannot wink to save
Oh,
his
yeah.
life? It's my favorite thing.
Yeah, it's the cutest.
It's so cute, and he still makes it sexy somehow. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like also how Kit Harington also cannot wink.
That's just what I was thinking of.
They just blink, but like blink extra hard with one eye.
My favorite
Adorable.
is
Yeah, there you go.
in Poor Unfortunate Soul when he gets the jolly back and he kind of just like gets on it and like breathes it in and he's just got
Oh,
this ridiculous
yes.
smile on his face.
Ah, that old boat smell.
He's so cute. He's so like expressive and over the top. Like, I'm gonna go off topic here, but in the underworld, when like Dave is being like, "Oh, I guess you're growing on me," and then
Yeah.
Killian just suddenly goes over the
He
top of
gets
his
so
hand
giddy.
and expressive, and he's
Yeah.
like that. He's so over the top and expressive because
I think it's the eyebrows.
no, it's
Yeah.
not his hand, it's his hands, it's his face, it's
Yeah, he
it's
gets
my-
very giddy. When he gets
Yeah,
giddy,
like a
he
little
gets very
giddy child.
expressive.
He's very
Yeah.
emotional and passionate, and I'm kind of like that, so I kind of like connect with him. Like, not with the fact that the pirate thinks I'm not a pirate, obviously. I'm not gonna kill anyone.
You're
but-
not? Damn it.
Sorry.
Why do I
I've been
feel
telling
like-
people I know a pirate.
Why do I
we
feel
can't
like
be friends
when he's
anymore.
getting when he gets giddy, I feel like it's his inner child coming through because he really didn't have like a normal child.
Oh.
Yeah.
Laura,
Well, I also think because Colin himself also talks with his hands a lot, so that also might be Colin bleeding through into Killian.
yeah.
Did you have any moment, Gab? Funny moment?
Mine was, I think someone said it for Emma, but I'm gonna say it for Killian. When they were talking with Elsa in the sheriff's office about Elsa's sisters, and Emma was like, "I'm the only blonde," and Killian was like, "Don't I know it?" Like,
Yes!
Oh.
that was
I'm
like,
Colin, what are your acting choices?
That face, that freaking face, I love it so much.
yes, it's
Oh
awesome.
my god.
Nice.
And that's a good point for a relationship. We can tease each other, have
Yeah.
that flirty thing, like, they can take the piss out of each other, basically. And
Yeah. Which I hope we get to see more in season 3. I want to see them kind of tease each other and just like kind of like make
Yeah.
like little cute little digs at each other.
yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like, obviously last half the arc and everything was so intense of saving Killian. I want a bit of light banter between them, so
Yeah.
I would
I
love
just the
that.
light flirty banter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we haven't gotten any of that in a while.
I miss it.
Mhm.
So yeah, for mine, I'm gonna have to go with like the iconic "When I jab you with my sword, you'll feel it,"
Yes.
Yes.
and
Oh,
and
yeah.
and the normally I like to do more enjoyable activities.
Yes.
With the woman on her back.
Oh yeah.
And then the fact that they had him say it at Comic-Con just made it.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I love
Oh,
it because
yeah.
like they had them on cards and Emily just kind of peeked at Collins and
Yes.
like pissed herself laughing.
Yeah.
And then when he threw it down, like he was so proud, like
He was
yeah,
just like,
I
yeah.
did it.
It's like nailed it.
I want to bring up one more moment that I don't even know why I found it funny because I'm sure everyone else just thought it was like super hot, but I just laughed hysterically when they're in Camelot and it's like the episode opens with like Merlin, Hook, and David busting down the door and then like
Yes!
punching all the guards.
Oh my
That was
God.
like,
It's
oh
like
my God.
Charlie's Angels.
And
but
then
guys.
Merlin walks in and just like uses his magic and just takes down all these people, and I was just dying laughing. I don't know why.
I watched the crack vid where right when that burst open, the Mission Impossible music starts playing. It was so great.
It just looked, it looked like something out of like an action movie, and I just thought it was so funny.
It was like
Right.
it was just because it was a sneak peek as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was just like, and then later on in the scene, Belle just came along. Oh,
Yeah.
read this, and Belle was like, "Oh, you're pretty good, love." He didn't say love, but it was. And then it was all like it was just a bit too easy, wasn't it? Let's be real, it was a bit too easy.
All right, let's move on to fan moments.
Yay!
Okay, so here's a couple that we had on Twitter. We have one from Kelsey, and she says, I love Killian Jones because he is brave, funny, sexy, loyal, and that he is driven by love. Emma is a lucky woman. Some of my favorite Killian moments are when he puts on the hook for the first time, and when he sword fights Blackbeard, which we did not talk about.
He did not.
That's a
Yeah,
great
that was
moment.
very hot.
That was a great scene. The way it was filmed, it was like just something straight out of
Yeah.
like a
Yes,
A
and but you know,
pirate
the
movie.
fight- the scene where, like,
What?
in the bit where Killian catches the sword, that was
Yeah.
Colin. Colin did that.
Yeah.
Like, there was going to initially get a stuntman to do it, but Colin was like, no, I want to do it. And Colin ended up actually doing it, so it was a big moment for Colin, so a round of applause to Colin there.
Yay!
I also love how Blackbeard is dressed very much in the traditional Captain Hook sense, with like the red
Yeah.
coat and the hat.
He really
with the
was.
feathers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
I don't know. That always has just like I've always liked that little detail.
I feel like that was definitely intentional.
Oh yeah.
So we have another comment from Miss Ford on Twitter.
Yay!
And she says, what I love most about Killian is that everything he does is moved by love and by passion. When he became a pirate, it was because of the love he had for his brother, and then Captain Hook because of the love of a woman, and then a hero because of the love of his true love. Killian is essentially pure love. My favorite moments will be the big plot points, like him becoming a pirate, him giving up his revenge after kissing Emma, and him giving up his ship for a chance to make someone else happy as a hero. Fighting pure darkness for Emma and getting a new chance by Zeus. What a great journey.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
that is actually
Emotional.
that is
Emotional.
pretty awesome, because like even Zeus like realized what deep down, like despite his all his dark deeds, what a great guy Killian is.
Yeah.
And he's
Even
willing
Zeus
to give us
shifted.
absolutely. That is our motto. But you know.
And Rose on Twitter
Yay.
listed her favorites. Hook giving up the Jolly Roger for Emma. This one we didn't talk about, but in season 5 in Camelot, when he says, "Come on, love, let's sail away."
Oh yeah, I love that. That's
That
so
was
cute.
so
That's cute.
beautiful.
I also like to imagine that Killian just makes like boat and sailing puns all the time. All the time.
Like even
Well,
in that
that-
most romantic context, it was still a boat pun.
But it would still turn me on. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
She also listed when he went to New York and told Emma that he came back for her to save her because he's always doing that and he's the only one who ever has.
it's very true.
We didn't really talk about New York either.
No.
Yeah, we didn't. Let's talk about New York. Like, okay.
There's
So
just so many moments to get into one episode.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is.
Well, weren't we gonna do a rewatch on New York? at
That's
one
true.
point,
We
too?
are going to do a
We
rewatch of
are.
New York Serenade at some point, so maybe we'll save that for then.
Yeah.
Save it.
Shh.
She also mentioned Firebird and letting Emma go, but again, we're going to hold off on that until we do the Firebird rewatch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's a great moment though.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
absolutely.
tears
Oh, yeah.
and blood.
Yeah, we're not ready for that yet. Still,
No.
Yeah.
still preparing myself.
I don't want to cry right now.
No, I'm still crying over it. I mean, not gonna lie.
So we have another Twitter moment from Hadget, and she says her two favorites, and she actually used GIFs, which I always appreciate.
This woman always uses gifts, and
She's
I
the GIF
love it.
queen.
She is absolutely yes.
So the two GIFs she posted were "When I Win Your Heart, Emma,"
Oh, shit.
Yes, love it.
Forgot about that one.
yeah,
I mean, clearly this is a favorite moment.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Mm.
and also the scene where Mila meets Killian for the first time. That
Yes.
really
Oh,
unexpected.
Yes.
scene.
The
No
one-
one saw that shit coming, and it was great.
No,
I know. It was
everyone.
literally
Yes.
a wild Killian appeared.
Surprise.
Literally.
Oh,
Like it
I
was.
fucking screamed my ass off.
I lost my shit because first off, he has long hair, which is like ugh, and then he's wearing the red vest of sex, and I was just
Oh yeah.
It's the
I
red
was-
vest of sex plus no big long overcoat too.
No.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
like, on the back of it with the strings, and he punched a guy, and I was just like,
which
oh
can
my
I say? So I've been boxing for like a good 6 years. That someone needs to teach Colin how to stage punch because that was awful. There's no way. There's no way that punching that guy like that with his elbow all out would have dropped that guy and knocked him out. There's literally
Okay.
no way. No
I
matter
saw
how
this
strong Colin is.
There's a reason why Justine is the queen of reality or whatever we said earlier.
Truth bombs.
Truth bombs.
Truth bomb.
The queen of truth bombs. Okay, can we move on?
But anyway, off the topic of like proper boxing form.
Farm.
That was a great scene.
It was a great scene.
He was
It was
hot.
I loved it. I screamed a lot. I am a Millions shipper. Like, come at me.
Yeah.
And so to see them actually meet and see the way that he talks to her, and he's so respectful.
Yeah.
Like that scene just has like,
she
my heart.
when she told him that she was married, he's like, okay, well, you know.
Yeah,
For
he
now.
backed
Out
off.
here,
Out
feeling
here.
around.
And like when people say that he stole her from Rumple, it's like no, he did not. Okay.
Because
That's what I think.
she's a person. She's not a goddamn object. So
Exactly.
she can't be stolen by definition.
All right.
I'm not gonna get into that.
So,
That's gonna make me really angry.
I know, just go on a rant.
Okay, so Claire on YouTube agreed with us on the moment where Killian turns the Jolly Roger around. She chose this one because she believes it's the most important decision he's ever made as it totally changed the direction his life was going in. To do the unselfish thing was huge for him at that moment. A close second for her is him sacrificing his life in Swan Song. I love that episode and this scene, how he manages to fight the darkness and do the right thing. It's rare when I'm watching a TV show that it will just make me sob my eyes out, and that scene did. For similar reasons, I love the elevator scene. I was crying for about a day afterwards, with Colin and Jen both pouring with tears during the scene. It was so well done.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
All of it. All of it.
Amy's favorite moment is when he was in the Middle Mist Meadow and he is knowingly dying but doesn't think anything of it. He only thinks of Emma's future and just wants her to be happy. This is the,
I wasn't dead. I wasn't dead before. I am now.
this is the first time we see how much he has changed from the man who only cared about his life and his safety. Oh, yeah.
We'll get into that when
Oh
we
my
do
God,
that rewatch
stop.
too. But because I don't want to deal with that right now.
Birth.
Bring on birth.
Denial,
Get
aren't
away,
we?
Curtis.
But, like, it just shows, like, we've talked about earlier about his turning his ship around, and when you get to that point, you can look back, like a life, like in my life, if I look back 5-10 years, I have grown, and that's what you do. That's a natural progression, and that's one of the things that Once Upon a Time has done really well. The natural progression is just done so well. Like, you learn from your mistakes, you grow from that. Absolutely.
So
Yep.
we have an email from Joy.
Yay!
Hey, Joy.
Due to the length of this episode, however, I'm just gonna read a moment that he has on his list that we didn't talk about, and then for the rest of these, I'm gonna put them on our website so that you guys can see what he picked and see all of his explanations for him, because they're all really well thought out.
Yes, I love his emails.
So, and we really want you
They're the
guys to be
best.
able to read them. So I'm gonna post them on our website along with all of our personal top 5 lists, so you guys will be able to see what we all personally chose as well. So all of that will be on the website after the episode's
Yeah.
posted. But a moment that he has on his list that we didn't talk about is when Emma was about to crush Merida's heart in the season 5 premiere, and Killian convinces Emma to resist the dark urge. And the fact that when her own mother tried to control her with the dagger, he stopped her and said that it had to be her own choice. He put his faith in her when her own parents couldn't do so. So it's a hugely underrated scene, but one of his favorites.
I agree.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Because I think, Killian was always so against using the dagger on Emma, which we see. We saw him, like, snatch it out of Regina's hands in that one scene. Like, fucking stop it.
Well, it goes back to him not wanting to be controlled anymore. He doesn't want to see Emma being controlled.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
I think
Free will.
people having their own agency is very important to him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially as a person who had his own agency stripped of him
Multiple
times in his life.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay,
Sarah?
we have a lengthy email from Chantal.
Yes.
But we love her for it. This is
Absolutely.
another one I'm going to post on the website because, again, it's a lot of great points on here. Very well thought out, very well written. So I do think it's definitely worth reading. I'm just going to mention a little bit, again, due to time. So she has on here the reveal of the modern outfit.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
yes.
honey.
Yes.
Oh
And
my
she
God.
says, Emma asking Killian out. It was the cutest thing anyone had ever seen. He pulls out all the stops: a nice restaurant, a freshly reattached hand, and a new wardrobe. The birth of the sexy ass leather jacket. What a blessing.
Again, Killian Jones. go big or go home. No, we
Yeah.
not hold
I also
back.
love how Emma, she notices the new look first. Totally does not notice the hand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
to her,
We've talked about that before, how
Yeah, we've talked. Yeah.
of how she doesn't see the hook as anything other than like a part of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, I remember, I think, being in the fandom on the night, I think we all knew that Colin and I think Robert were going to film a scene outside and we were going to see the new outfit. And everyone was just huddled over their computers, just
Yes.
furiously hitting refresh, like, where's the picture? And then like the first blurry, could barely see anything picture came out, and we all lost it.
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
think he needs to lose the jacket on occasion.
That's the only
Yeah.
complaint. That's the only complaint.
I think
Yeah.
he needs to lose
I
more
think
than
they
his
keep
jacket.
the
Ah!
jacket on.
I was trying to
Guys,
behave for once, Kim. Okay?
Nope, never behave.
I think season 6 is this time where we need a bedroom scene.
Yeah.
She's so there, guys.
Please,
I want to see that leather jacket
I
on the
wasn't-
floor.
I wasn't
Okay.
on last episode, but my contribution to last 6 episode is like, I need to see him in bed. Thank you. Night.
The reason that we probably haven't gotten it is because they don't know what to do with the brace. Because once that
Yeah.
jacket and everything comes off, it's gonna be really obvious that it's just like a big
His
tube
hand.
on his arm.
Just saying, right? Okay, just saying. If you're in bed, put his left arm in under covers.
Yeah,
I
there you
know.
go.
How
Or
is that
behind
hard?
Emma. Or behind
Oh,
Emma. You
on
can hide
Emma's
it behind her shoulder.
Emma's
Yeah.
back or something. I mean,
Call us.
I
Call
can
us
write
and we'll
romance.
handle it.
I
Yeah.
can write
It's
romance.
CGI.
Tell you what, love.
They're doing the reverse spoon. She's on
Yeah.
his side
Oh.
and he's laying on his left arm.
All they have to do though is put him on the floor, put him having sex on the floor, and put a green screen thing over his hands.
Jenna, you know how
Jenna's
CGI
thoughts about me.
No, there's
Jenna's
CGI
like,
that's
really
not
have.
The
good.
green screen on this show is not good. 80%
Yeah,
of the time.
green screen is bad, to be fair.
This is not HBO, Jenna. Okay.
In a bed, his cover in his covers, like his chest out, his like his pecs out, you know, get a bit of nipple show kind of thing. And then, you know, Emma's like, oh shit, my mum's here. She goes downstairs, she's like, shit, your mum's here. Get dressed, Killian. That's all I want. That's all I want, mate. That's all I want.
But none of us have thought about this ever.
Ever.
No.
First time.
Of course not.
This is all brand new.
I know. Fucking hell, Adam and Eve. Fucking do the thing. Do the thing.
Do the thing.
You need to tweet that to them. Do the thing.
Do the thing.
I'm ready to write smut. I'm freaking dying.
It's just one Cinemax special, guys. It's okay.
Exactly.
One night.
One.
I'm dead.
Oh, you know what they could do?
Oh my
no.
god.
Oh!
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Sex on the beach, and his hand could be in the water, so you would see it, and it would be, you know.
His hand could be buried under the sand.
Oh my God, sex on the beach. Love your body. Love your body.
I want to have sex on the beach.
Everywhere.
Come on, everybody.
Sex
I'm pretty
on
sure
the
we've
beach.
broken Sarah because she hasn't said anything in a while.
I can't talk. I've died.
How can she? But continue, please. Sorry.
Oh my
What
God.
were we even talking about? I don't even know at this point.
I don't even know.
But
Um,
It's not on a tangent.
Chantal.
Oh,
meeting
Chantal's list. Yeah.
Yeah.
Killian's new wardrobe.
I'm gonna mention
Yeah,
one more.
Killian's wardrobe.
Went from that to lack of wardrobe.
Yeah.
Well, we prefer him with lack of wardrobe.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
So the other moment on her list I want to mention is the the quote unquote not a proposal scene.
Ah, yes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That was so cute. I'm working my
Adorable.
way back to you,
You babe. Yes.
With a burning love inside.
Oh my God.
Chantal says that that the scene is intimate and very sweet and includes references that Killian doesn't understand, and it makes for a great calm before the storm scene.
Yeah,
It was super
it
cute.
does. I agree.
It was the first time he told her that, he loved her. It was so cute.
I know.
Yeah, it was.
Piercing
Oh,
eyed,
so
smoldering
cute.
pirate who loves you.
Her little disappointed face when
I know.
he's
for,
not
for a
proposing.
When
second,
it's actually
like,
not.
oh, okay.
Like, as soon as she said it, and then he was like, oh, it's not actually a proposal, she's like, wait, fuck, I kind of want it to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, her face falls for a second there, and she like breaks a little bit.
She also mentioned Deckhand Killian, and I think it's worth mentioning. And she says it is the cutest, most adorable puppy on the planet.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
The cutest,
such,
most
like, a little
adorable,
bumbling
most
monkey.
useless puppy on the planet.
That's not
How cute
true.
you.
That's
I
not
was
true.
thinking
That is
useless.
not true, and I'm about to get into something about that in a minute.
No, because like he if he's given him a chance, he will go for it. He does not hold back.
I think Deckhand Killian is just basically Killian stripped of all his confidence. He can still do things. He can still obviously sword
Sail a
fight. He
ship.
can still sail the ship. He's just stripped of that. He just lacks that confidence and that swagger that makes him Killian.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think it's like I was only joking, but I think it's like
Oh no, it's
like,
fine.
he because like obviously it's like he did a really good job, and then the bloody captain comes along and like throws the fish all over the deck again, and I was like, you asshole.
Aww.
I felt
Can
so
I use-
sorry for him. I was just like, oh.
Can I use this as a segue to get into my stuff?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
go for it.
finished. I'm finished though.
Okay. So Marianne very graciously allowed me to look at her article for her top 20 Killian moments prior to season 5. One of them was with no memories of his real self, Killian sacrifices himself so Emma and Henry can escape. So she writes, in an alternate reality our fairy tale characters were written into, Killian was not Captain Hook, but a shy, meek, and cowardly deckhand who was afraid to stand up to Captain Blackbeard. But when he meets Henry, who convinces him to help rescue his mother Emma, his true nature was allowed to shine through. That was also listed in a lot of my Tumblr, a lot of the Tumblr ones, like Vigilante Wives also mentioned that one as well. I will get into a post from my friend JJ, who is Wordsmith Storyweaver on Tumblr. She said that her favorite Killian Jones moment, I don't know if anyone else will agree with me, but my favorite moment is that first scene on the Jolly Roger, which, girl, that was our number one, so you're fine. But then she also mentioned my favorite Killian Jones outfit, though, has to be the black velvet vest of foreplay.
Yeah.
She said it's basically a glorified corset, and Colin just rocked it. She did.
Yeah, he was.
I love that so much. I think that's also one of the reasons why I just love that introduction on the Jolly Roger so much.
Yeah, a lot of we forget about the black velvet vest sometimes, but that's yeah. I think I like the black velvet better than his normal black one.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
I love the high collar.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that in that first scene we see him in, he's not even wearing that coat, but yet we still get that sense of authority and that powerful aura that he gives off. It's like without that armor of that pirate coat,
Yeah.
I got some from Fairy Tales and Time Travel. Thank you, Jenna. Number 5 was I will find whatever's worse and do it to you when he's talking to Hades. When Liam tells him he has become a true hero because it's true, and the look on Killian's face when he heard that from his brother. When David said that Killian has grown on him and Killian was happy. When he owned up to everything that happened with Ariel. And I know that Rachel's going to love this one. Do you ever wonder if this constant pursuit of revenge is the reason we have no one who cares for us?
Yes. Yes, that was on my list.
Yes, it was. Got a few from Coffee Shop Cynic. Hi, Allison. She has this 222 scene from Straight On Till Morning when he comes back with the ship. Killian and David in good form. You traded your ship for me. Killian sacrificing himself in Swan Song, and then Don't You Know, Emma, It's You. All a good list.
Yeah.
5 out of 5.
So many amazing Killian moments. Just
Every moment is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just face it.
I've got some honorable mentions from Vigilante Wives. Killian versus Modern Technology, like I said, Marty McHugh, which is what I did last time.
Yeah.
Talking Phone, that's quite a vessel you've got there, Swan. Being force-fed something called baloney while in jail.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, can we talk about that, because like the way he says baloney, like
Yes.
his voice just goes down.
Everyone.
Baloney. He becomes a different person all of a sudden. It's like, oh my days, baloney.
Right. Not knowing what Netflix is, and my personal favorite, that deleted scene in season 2 following his accident, and he pops up with the jello, obviously not knowing what it is.
Mhm.
Yes. Oh God, I wish they kept that in. That was the best scene.
So on Facebook, we've got 2 comments. So we've got one from Tiffany Worrell, who says her favourite moment is when he kicks the table, but they all think it's Cora's spirit.
Oh yeah.
And then Erin Rask has always also put a comment in to say that she's got so many favourites, but her 2 ultimate favourites are Behold the Rolly Dodger scene
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and Dark Hook confronting Rumple the first time.
Yeah, those are good.
Very good.
So iconic scenes all around. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's move on to our recommendations for the week. Justine, you
Yeah.
want to kick things off?
Sure. I have a fic from Vera Loves Loki, who I have like the biggest writer's crush on because I want to write like her. She's so good. She has excellent characterization in all of her fics. But the fic that I'm recommending this week is called Soul Marked.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a really interesting take on the soulmate AU, where it's like you have like matching like birthmarks, and it's just so well written. And Jafira just always knocks it out of the park. Like every time I get like an email saying that she wrote something or posted something, I'm just like, yes, I need to read it now. Please read it.
I'm bringing 2 fan videos of Killian being Dark One. The first one is This Is Who I Became by Creative Extremes, or Hannah. She's awesome. And another one is this, Shall We Finish What We Started by Miss Catherine Pearson. She's awesome as well. And they're both Dark Hook.
Yes.
Love it.
I have a video and a fic.
Ooh.
So the fan video I have is called "I'm So Sorry," and it is.
Oh damn it.
What?
That's the name of it. It has me all jumbled up inside already.
Oh, it's not really angsty. It's actually like kind of badass.
Okay.
And it's Imagine Dragons is the song.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But it's also by Creative Extremes.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just a really cool, badass little Killian video.
Nice.
And then the fic I have is a Harry Potter AU.
Yes.
It's
Nice.
Oh, is it?
my favorite one, called Once Upon a Time Turner.
Yes!
Jeez.
Oh.
I love that one, mate.
By Scheherazade 06. I don't think she's writing it anymore. It's
No, she's
hard to
not.
tell. It's been a long time, so I don't
She's not.
unfortunately don't think it's going to be finished. But if you're out there listening, please. It's amazing. You're a great writer.
Please finish
Please finish it. It's so good. It is so good.
So much fun, yeah.
So the basic premise of it is Killian's a Hufflepuff, Emma's a Gryffindor, and it's basically just about their years throughout Hogwarts and their first few interactions when they're young, and then as they get older, they develop this connection, and it's so true to how they actually are, but yet it's in a different world.
Yeah.
And I love that. And Killian is such this flirty little asshole. Like, it's just perfect.
Oh, yeah.
And then they both get picked for the Triwizard Tournament, and that's when like shit starts to go down, and then it just kind of stops, and I'm like, oh, I want more.
Yeah, it's the best Harry Potter fan fiction I've read.
So it
Well,
is. I
it's
think
not.
for sure, yeah, one of the best ones. But just be prepared that you're not gonna get an ending to it. So, but it's still worth reading for sure.
Yes.
Okay, Jenna.
Hello. All right, I've got 2 this week. I've got one fanfic and one fan video. So the fanfic is The Thing You Want Most by
Oh, yeah.
Kogan Tranting on Tumblr. It's basically just a short one shot with Killian's experience with the darkness. So her second one is a fan video. So it's called Requiem for Hook, A Journey of Love and Revenge, and that's by Dremmer Productions. And I just really like it. It's like a really good video showing Killian's internal struggles with sort of between the darkness and his love for Emma, and kind of which one's going to kind of win out in the end. And it's just a really good video. I really like it.
Okay, Rachel?
So I'm on a fan video kick lately. I have another video. It's called Killian Jones, Soul of a Man, and it's by Victoria Tennant. And oh my god, this video is amazing. I've watched it like I don't even know how many times. I can't stop watching it. The editing is so beautiful, and it's amazing. And y'all should watch it.
I watched it last night. It was super good. I love it. JMO?
I actually have two fics. I'm also wrecking a one shot by Fira Loves Loki. Hi, Steph. How are you doing? It's called Rescue Me. Basically, Emma downloads this app called Hinder, and it's a way to help people get out of bad dates if they need help rescuing.
I totally thought you said Tinder.
I know, me too. That's why I was laughing.
No. With an H. With an H.
Okay.
Hinder. And it gives you like three options. Like you can text someone for to get out of a date, you can call them, or you can meet up. The first time that she uses it, she gets hey, can someone text me to get out of this date? It's really awkward. And it ends up being Killian. But there's no way for them like to respond back through this thing. So over time she wants their interaction even through that. She wants to hopefully he responds again. And sure enough he does, and this time she calls him. And they still don't have any way of getting connected except through the app. And eventually it leads to them meeting up, and it's so great. So great. I probably butchered discussing this, but I don't care because it's just really good.
I mean, you made me want to read it, so.
It's so freaking cute. And then I'm also going to recommend a one-shot that was written by Too Many Ships to Sail, aka our own Kimberly. She posted it last night. It's called Hoist the Colors. And it was this really cute, fluffy little piece of Emma, trying to get work done, but, everyone's out on the jolly, and she's like, fuck it, I'm going to go join them. And she throws in one of our fan theories right at the very end, and I was like, you bitch. And,
I throw it in and I don't even explain it. I don't even.
You don't. And
no,
I need more. What the hell? It was like, what the hell? But I just thought it was great, and I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Thank you. Aww. I'm blushing. Aww. I'm all snuggly in my little blanket, but aww. So me then, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. So continuing on our little fluffy trail here, apparently. Since some people like to bring the angst, and I can't do that.
Angst train and the fluffy trail.
Don't hate, okay?
I don't hate. I appreciate, but we gotta yin and yang it here a little bit, guys. So this is I'm a really big sucker for those after the dentist YouTube videos. There is Natalia, I'm probably butchering your name. INITIALA. Wrote a Killian after the dentist fic.
Oh my god.
And it's amazing. So that is my rec this week.
What's it called?
It just says Killian after the dentist.
Okay.
So good. Emma has to take care of him after the dentist.
And shit.
It's a delight.
It's a delight. I love that.
It sounds like a delight.
So I was thinking it was going to be an angstful recommendation, so I also have gone for some fluff. Because I was thinking, I need to lighten my tone, but these guys have helped with that. But my recommendation is A Night at the Movies by Tadpole24. It's a one shot, and it is basically, as a kid, Emma never got to see the iconic Disney movie, so her local theatre has started showing these iconic Disney movies, so she starts to go there every week. Oh, watch The Lion King, and one day she gets one evening she gets someone kicking a chair. She's furious, and then after the movie, some dashing guy with a kid says, "Oh, I'm so sorry for that," and I wonder who that dashing guy is.
Walsh?
Read
Was
the
it
one
Walsh?
shot to find out.
Was it
No.
Walsh?
No, because Walsh. Would you define Walsh as dashing?
Totally. I love monkeys. Just kidding.
So a dashing gentleman is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been babysitting this little boy, which is Robinson." And then obviously this is a one shot, so I can't spoil it for you. Just read it and find out. But it's pure fluff, and it's Disney. I fucking love Disney. It makes me happy. It makes me so happy.
Okay,
Oh shit.
Have I ruined the podcast?
That was the best description of a story I've
I know.
ever heard.
It was so passionate. It was so passionate. I fucking love it.
I hope the author of that just gets so happy when she hears that.
For real.
Okay, so I've done something good. Awesome. Lovely.
So that about wraps it up.
Woo!
To those of you that stuck with us this long and are still listening, thank you.
I felt like a marathon.
Thank you. So next week we are doing a throwback. Thank you to all of you who voted on Twitter and on Facebook. A overwhelming amount of you have voted for us to rewatch the Captain Swan movie, aka the season 3 finale.
Yes.
Yes!
Oh yes.
And we have promised that we will drink during it.
So Lindsay won't be alone next week.
Lindsay, yeah, it'll be all of us this time.
The unofficial drinking is a secret.
It ain't no secret. Come on now.
Is it though?
The worst kept secret of a podcast.
Yeah. How else do you follow that up? You can't.
You really can't.
Just tune in next week. It's gonna be awesome.
It really is.
Oh. That's a little sneak preview. That's a sneak preview of what's to come.
I ended a bottle of whiskey.
I love that.
I just poured out a bottle of whiskey in my glass and poured it in.
All right. So as always, you can listen to us on iTunes, Audio Boom, and Pocket Casts. So like and subscribe us on those, as well as YouTube. You can find us on all social media. We are OUACS Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Gmail, and WordPress.
And Instagram, even though.
Oh, I forgot Instagram.
That was-
We're really slacking
It's
on
okay.
the Instagram.
I have also forgot Instagram.
My plan for the Instagram is we're really going to use it for the convention tour next year.
Yeah,
So
when we're all
Yes, and
you're not going to see a whole lot on there right now until we start going places.
And that's the whole thing. Like, this podcast is for the long haul. As Killian Jones once said, we're in this for the long haul. We're not. This is no joke. We wouldn't.
Yeah. So follow us on everything. Continue to send us your thoughts, comments, concerns, questions, whatever. We read it all. We love it all.
And we share it all.
Yeah, we do. So we will see you all next week for our next throwback with Captain Swan movie.
Yes.
Yay.
Movie night.
Bye.
Bye.